Have you guys ever wondered why dating feels harder for men today than it did even a few years ago, not so long ago? I remember when dating used to be so simple, right? You meet someone, go on a few dates, you get to know each other, you have a connection, and then you gradually advance to where you make that decision, okay, we are a right fit for each other, and then you proceed to essentially getting into a relationship, right? Nowadays, it's confusing. There's mixed expectations. There's more superficiality than ever before. And the landscape is just an absolute mess that causes a lot of men to wind up just either staying to themselves or settling for situations that is unhealthy and sometimes even toxic. Let's talk about it a little bit. Hey guys, welcome back to the Anchor Show. My name is Andrew, and today I'm going to be taking a look at the dating landscape in 2026. Now, disclaimer, I'm not a dating expert, right? And I'm also not in the dating pool, but I can't escape the realities of what's going on in the world as far as dating is concerned, because it's around us. You go on social media, you watch TV shows, it's around us, right? So even though I'm not personally living that experience, I am fully aware of it. And from a mental health perspective, I can give a couple insights, right? So let's look into that, right? One of the biggest challenges with dating today is, first and foremost, how you meet, right? Back in the days, there was no other ways to meet than either in person or maybe someone make a connection for you, right? So somebody knows somebody who they think you might be interested in, and they make that connection, right? But nowadays, it's all digital, right? According to statistics, over 50% of singles looking for dates does so through a dating app. And that indicates the big shift in the dating landscape. You know, back in the days, like I said, people just meet in person. You know someone, whether at school, work, your community, it doesn't matter, right? You know somebody, you work with them, you cross paths with them, and you meet that way. But nowadays, majority of these connections are being made online. The challenge with online connection is that everybody get to put on a different persona, right? You're a different person online than you are in person, and that's just the reality, right? And there's also a lot of superficiality, right? What I mean by that is people are looking for the superficial qualities, right? The ones that you get to see, such as height, such as your skin color, such as whether you have a hairline or not, such as money, you know, your style of clothes. I've seen people turn people down simply because of how they dress, or even worse, their shoes. Just the shoes alone, like, I don't like your shoes. And that is all it took for someone to be like, nah, we're not gonna work just because of the shoes. That's all superficial. So because of those things, you find that guys are having a hard time connecting and, establishing a healthy relationships, because you can't even get past the meeting phase, right? You can't even get past that phase, the selection phase. No one is picking you no one is picking you for the right reasons. And the ones that do choose you, a lot of times it's not for the right reasons, right? Because if you present as a guy who, according to societal standard, would be desirable, right? Let's say that's how you present. You're being looked at because of your physical attributes, right? They're not looking beyond the surface to see what your character is, what kind of a person you are. It's about the physical, going back to being superficial. So there is that. There's also expectations, right? There's a lot of females who their standards are so high, the bar is so high, their expectations is through the roof. And the reality is, a lot of men in today's world, especially 2026, with just how things are going right now, like, you're not going to find a lot of men that's going to meet some of these extremely high expectations. And so some of these guys don't even bother to show up. They don't even bother to try, right? There's also another growing trend that it's been going on now for quite some time. I want to say ever since the whole Me Too movement back in 2000, somewhere around there, right? I don't remember the exact dates, but it's a growing trend where females will freak out and just act completely out of character if a guy come up to her trying to talk to her, right? Especially, or I would say more specifically, if that guy is not someone she finds attractive, right? Gone are the days when a guy could see a female that he likes and then go up to her and, try to talk to her, and she'll be receptive. And, if she likes him, fine. If she doesn't like him, she can politely dismiss him, and that's the end of it, right? Nowadays, it's quick and easy for them to say that you're harassing them when you're just simply trying to talk. And knowing this, a lot of guys don't even bother to try. And that's the reason why they rather stick to the online dating, because when you are accepted by that person online and you accept them, and you gradually get to know each other through talking, then it's almost like it's easier that way. But the truth is, you can't really detect character and energy that well over the phone, right? You can only do so in person, right? And so that's one of the challenges, is not being able to establish that connection and feeling that energy in person right from the beginning, so that you're not wasting your time and she's not wasting her time, right? And so these are some of the challenges that guys are facing with just getting past the very initial phase, which is the selection phase, right? As a result of that, a lot of men are reporting being single and lonely. Statistics are showing that at least 40% of men surveyed are reporting being lonely, right? And 44% of them declare that they're just giving up on love, and declare that they'll probably never find love ever again, or ever, because of just how difficult the landscape is, right? And it is a very tough and tricky and treacherous landscape for guys to go out there and to find a suitable partner to build life with. It really is treacherous, because when you think about it, right, there's so many things against you as a guy. Number one, you're gonna be selected or judged by your appearance. Are you handsome? Are you tall? Are you whatever skin color they desire? Do you have nice teeth? Do you speak well? Do you know how to dress? Do you have money? The list of expectations is so long. A lot of guys don't even get past that selection phase because of that long list. And sometimes too, the females with the longest list of expectations, they themselves are not even suitable beyond their looks, right? And it's like, but that is the reality of the world we currently live in, right? If we were going to use numbers, right, which I don't typically like to do, but for the sake of context and reference, right, you'll have a female that is, let's say she's a 6, right, but she want a guy that's a 10. Right? And the same thing goes for guys. You'll have a dude who he himself is like a 5 or a 6, but he wants a 10 for a girl. It's like, that's not how that works. That's one of the things that is causing the gap to get so much wider between men and women as far as dating, because expectations are too high. And so what wind up happening with guys is that you either accept defeat and just kind of stay to yourself and stay lonely, and then that leads to depression and sadness and loneliness and stress, right? Or you settle for someone that is less than what you desire, and that comes with its own set of problems, because you're short selling yourself and you're not getting exactly what you desire out of this person or out of your relationship. And so that in of itself leads to other problems. But how do we fix that, right? Now, again, like I said, I'm not an expert, but from a mental health perspective and from a common sense perspective, how would you go about solving that problem, right? Now, the only thing that you really can do is work on yourself. You can do what's in your control, right? Work on yourself. If you've been on a few dates before, or you've had a few relationships before, and your flaws were or deficiencies were highlighted and put on notice, right? Don't take it too personal. Use it as an opportunity to grow, right? Whatever it is that you fell short on, let that be the starting point to build yourself up, right? Some of us need to go into the gym and get healthy. It's the truth. Some of us need to change some of the things that we do in our lives, right? So maybe we need to drink less. Maybe we need to stop smoking. Maybe we need to exercise more. Maybe we need to change our wardrobe. And just it's so many things that we can do to enhance not just our appearance, outward appearance, but our overall identity, right? We can do so much to improve who we are as people. Change your identity, improve it, right? My motto for this channel is continue to grow, evolve, and transform into the best version of ourselves, right? That's my motto. And that's what's in your control. Get some friends, get some hobbies, right? Find a couple genuine friends because what that's going to teach you is it's going to teach you how to socialize. It's going to teach you how to be socially aware, right? You learn from being around people. And it can even help to build up your confidence as well, because you're out and about in social settings, and that's an opportunity for you to learn and to grow on just how to socialize. Work on your mental health. If you have any sort of mental issues, work on that, whether through therapy or through mindfulness practices or hobbies, whatever it might be. Work on your mental health, right? Become emotionally aware, emotionally stable, emotionally intelligent, right? Work on those things. Because when you yourself is the finished product, when your identity has changed and you've become the best version of yourself, that's what you're going to attract. You're going to attract people that are like-minded, right? Everything is about energy, guys, right? If you are at a certain level in life and you're vibrating and you're vibing on that same frequency, you're going to attract people like that, right? And those are the only people that are going to get your attention. So the likelihood of you settling for someone less than what you deserve and desire, it's less likely, because you've changed your identity. You've done all the work. You are the best version of yourself right now. And so naturally, you're going to be attracting people that are, like-minded and people who have also done the work. So those are some of the things that you can do to change your situation, is to work on you, right? Go in isolation and put in the work. Work on yourself, right? Transform yourself. Once you get there and you've become the best version of yourself, you are now truly ready to get into a relationship, to meet people and to grow and, develop healthy relationships. So that's my advice, right? Work on you. Take care of the things that you can control in terms of self-improvement. Even career too, and the right person will come along, right? And I know that's not necessarily comforting for someone who is single and has been single for a long time and they're struggling with loneliness and all that. That's not really comforting, but that's life. And change is not comforting sometimes. Change is disruptive and it's, uncomfortable and sometimes painful, right? But necessary. Because once you've been molded into that evolved version of you, I promise, that's the kind of people that you'll attract. Evolved people that are suitable for you and can add value to your life. And it doesn't hurt to listen to different dating advice and people who are sort of like dating experts. It's not a bad thing to listen to these people, because you can take little bits and pieces from each person. You learn a little something here and there, and you can take that and apply to yourself as far as what's relevant to you, and that'll help you to become an even better person and a better version of yourself, right? So I hope I was able to inspire you a little bit. I hope that you were able to take a little something from this video. Again, not a dating expert, but there are just little things that we can improve in our lives to make a big difference in the outcome. And that's what my goal is just to give you a little bit of advice on how you can improve you so that you can become a much more desirable and marketable person when it comes on to dating. So that's gonna be all for today, guys. Let's hope that you are inspired, and until the next video, let us continue to grow, evolve, and transform into the best version of ourselves. Peace.